2014 to 2015, and also as president of from 2014 to 2015, and also as president of Indian Medical Association from 2018 to 19. And Madam also was the vice president of Indian Medical Association from 2021 to 2022. And she is also secretary for Nizamabad Security Council, and right now she is holding a position of chairmanship or chairperson for Indian Institute of Health and Family Welfare. So now I request Dr. Kavitha Reddy garu to go ahead with the presentation. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I thank Professor Purushottam Reddy garu and Srujana for inviting me here. I am a very young speaker. We had all eminent speakers before me. I hope I can cope up with them. I will try to do that. So the topic given to me, I think it's very important to each and every one of us. We see our society and our relations, close friends and all facing day in and day out, which we haven't seen 25 to 30 years back. Now we see everybody facing these issues. So the topic given is air pollution and its effect on public health. So all our speakers have addressed various issues regarding the sustainability, the buildings and the soil and the water, and my friend Sheetal, she has really an interesting subject of mine, which I have been really fighting day in and day out at Nizamabad, which I have failed. So now I can take your example and go ahead. So these are the various issues we are facing day in and day out. So air pollution. లోపటైనా బయటైనా మనం పీల్చే గాలి ఆరోగ్యకరంగా లేదు ఈరోజు. మనం ఇంట్లో ఉంటే వీఆర్ సేఫ్ అనుకుంటున్నాం, కానీ నీదర్ ఇన్ ది హౌస్ నార్ ఆన్ ద రోడ్స్, నీదర్ ఎనీవే వీఆర్ సేఫ్ టుడే. సో ఇట్స్ అ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ టాపిక్, ఫ్రెండ్స్. Why should we care about this air pollution? Air pollution causes, it's really scary, 1.7 million premature deaths annually in India. According to the recent Lancet reports from late 2025, impacting public health and costing the economy really 10% of its GDP, highlighting an escalating crisis despite efforts. Deaths attributable to air pollution in India in 2019, air pollution, the number of deaths is 1.67 million. The percentage would be around 17.8%. Ambient particulate matter pollution deaths 0.98 million, which accounts to about 10.4%. Household air pollution 0.61, which accounts to about 6.5%. Ambient ozone pollution 0.17%, which accounts to 1.8% of the total deaths. Key statistics and findings. Fossil fuel impact 44% deaths, that is 7,52,000, with power plants and vehicles being major contributors. Economic burden. Economic burden cost is immense, estimated at around 9.5% of India's GDP annually. Rising trends, 38% increase in deaths since 2010, showing worsening air quality. We were all talking about air quality. We face in many cities. I was so scared to go through the net today. My birthplace, Nalgonda district, has an highest air pollution. It was very shocking. then I went again in the net and found out what was the reason in Nalgonda district. We find many cement factories and we have many connecting highways to the district. So that is one of the highest air polluted district in Telangana district. This is really alarming. And global context, India accounts for a large share of global air pollution. The major contributors being thermal power plants. When it comes to thermal power plant, it was really hard to hear that the Ramagundam in Peddapalli district is becoming a graveyard day by day. But still we are trying to make business out of it. NTPC is really causing a lot of hazards in Ramagundam district. One could be the ash, the water, the soil, everything is getting polluted. Ramagundam is being very near to Godavari. No, Godavari is also not safe. Next, coming to vehicle emissions, industrial emissions and biomass burning. Now I would like to speak about our Musi River. We are so proud. Our Chief Minister is very anxious about reconstituting Musi River. Musi River's birth is in a very pure and healthy place, that is Anantagiri Hills of Vikarabad. It flows through Hyderabad and it ends again in our Nalgonda district, Wazirabad. When it starts, it was very pure to start with, but in the ending, it becomes very impure when it travels to Hyderabad. We are all the cause. Subbarao sir was telling about Musi, water and all. See, we are being the cause of pollution of Musi River again. The Musi goes and it gets connected at Wazirabad and Krishna. We have all again polluted Krishna River also. So all the rivers, all the drinking waters, again we get Krishna River as a drinking water to Hyderabad. From this way we get Godavari for drinking water and Musi also to Hyderabad, it is a drinking water. So are we having safe drinking water? No. So this is how we are polluting our nature. It is an undesirable change in physical, chemical and biological characters of air. Air pollution is a cause due to an increase in content of harmful substances in the air such as oxides of nitrogen and sulfur. Air pollution is said to exist if the levels of gases, solids or liquids present in the atmosphere are high enough to harm humans, other organisms or materials. The air may become polluted by natural causes such as volcanoes, which release ash, dust, sulfur and other gases, and forest fires, and occasionally naturally caused by lightning. This we usually see in, not in India, we see in the other Western countries. Air pollutant is a substance in the air that adversely affects human beings and ecosystem. Pollutants are categorized into two types. One is primary pollutants and secondary pollutants. The primary pollutants being harmful chemicals that are released to the atmosphere directly from the sources, and the secondary pollutants, the primary pollutants are carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, sulfur oxide, and volatile organic compounds and suspended particulate matter. The secondary pollutants, they are produced by chemical reaction involved in the primary pollutants, like sulfuric acid, nitric acid, mist, smog, and ozone. Smog is a combination of fog and smoke that we are over and over hearing in Delhi. Due to burning of the agriculture material, there is smog in Delhi. The causes and effects of indoor air pollution. We are using all this in our day-to-day life. So due to mosquitoes, we use repellents, we use air sprays, we use bathroom chemicals. Nothing is safe. pesticides, cleaning agents, etc. and etc. All are toxic. Building materials, architects using asbestos, glass material, paint, etc. All these have health hazards. Irritation to the eye, skin, etc. Respiratory problems, cancers. Air conditions. Air-conditioned room offices, broad spectrum of health. Many of you, we are facing these problems with air conditions because we all stay in closed rooms. So various contaminants, gobar, wood for cooking, those also cause, and women's health gets affected a lot on these issues. Even the stoves which we use releases this formaldehyde and from the carpets and furniture, pesticides and cleaners and ozones from photocopies. So I feel nothing is safe. How should the effects of outdoor air pollution? Burning of fossil fuels in automobiles, power stations, chemical, metal and paper industries, mining activities leading to dust as well as fires, natural emission from animals, decaying organic matters, burning of biofuels, tropical air forest waste of all kinds, disasters like earthquakes and all. Main thing is, Purushottamana is given this thing on leak of gases in Bhopal, which has really caused a disaster in Bhopal. And for festival, now not only Diwali, for other festivals also we burn crackers, which is really not needed. So we are overusing things, which has to be limited. If you overuse things also, it causes a lot of air pollution. And when a desert is thousands of kilometers far also, when there is a dust storm, we get affected even in Hyderabad. So that is the effect of dust storm from the deserts. Industrials and automobiles, I think they should be away from the urban population. They should have a separate industrial belt. So there is a lot of opposition for that also nowadays. Petrol. The petrol which we have is with lead, which prevents knocking of the engine. That also is very poisonous. It can lead to a large accumulation in the lead in the body, which causes paralysis, blindness, and even death. Trucks, buses use diesel, which has high sulfur content. The old engines emit vast quantities of suspended particulates matter, leading to heavy air pollution in main cities. That is what we are facing today. Smog. As I was telling about smog, not only in India, 1 out of every child is being, it becomes chronic. It becomes chronic and it can lead to skin allergies, etc. Many pollutants also depress the immune system, making the body more prone for infections. Carbon dioxide, which is released from the automobile emission, can cause headaches or at lower levels and mental impairment and death at high levels. On a large scale, air pollution leads to acid rains, ozone layer depletion, and global warming. How should we prevent it? How to control this? Air pollution. Give great emphasis on pollution prevention rather than control. Reduce the use of fossil fuels and increase use of renewable fuels with low sulfur and ash content. Improve the quality of vehicular fuel. Use unleaded petrol. I think we are getting unleaded petrol in the bunks, so it is better we prefer that. Encourage public transport, walk or cycle, which is also good for health. Ensure that house along busy streets as they remove particulates, carbon dioxide, and absorb noise. Of recently had been to one country, Baku. In that country, if they have to build a housing apartments, they see that that locality has a park, a lake. If it is not there, if any other construction is there, they break down that construction and they give importance to this. I hope we see India one day that position. Industries and waste disposal sites should be situated outside the city, preferably on the downwind of the city. Catalytic converters should be used to control the emission of carbon dioxide and hydrocarbons. In industrial centers, emission rates should be restricted to permissible levels by each and every industry. Ensure sufficient supply of oxygen to the combustion chambers and adequate temperature so that combustion is complete, thereby eliminating much of the smoke consisting and partly burned ashes and dust. Use mechanical devices such as scrubbers, cyclones, bag houses, and electrostatic precipitators in the manufacturing process. The air pollutants collected must be carefully disposed. The fat fumes are dealt with chemical treatment. What is the air quality in our city today? It is very important for us. Please introspect, see that we are safe. I just want to give a small example. Which is the country which is safe in this world? Can anybody answer? Which is the most sustainable country in the world? No, it is Bhutan. Bhutan is the most I had visited Bhutan. I was very surprised as I'm a doctor. Always my eyes will be on hospitals. I was just finding, I don't find any hospital, any private sector hospital also there. And I was so concerned, I asked the cops there, why? He said, we are all healthy, we don't need hospitals. If we want, or if we are serious, our government
Insightful.